Good morning, good morning, good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Turning Your Passion into Profit Morning Show. How's everybody doing today? I hope you're having a fantastic Wednesday. It seems like this week has just flown by, you know? So, wherever you may be, I'm hoping that you have a fantastic Wednesday. But grab that pen and that paper because we're going to talk about something extra special today. And the topic for today is something that's going to really have you thinking. And I want you to think about it. I want you to really think about this and also to chime in with your questions or with your comments. Good morning, Janaea. How you doing today? How are you doing today? I know you having a fantastic week. Yeah, you say a good week so far. And that's so good that people are enjoying themselves and having a fantastic week. But for those of you who don't know me, I'm your host, Gertrude J. Chapman. And, I deal with women who are not realizing their value and how much they're worth because they're not maximizing their potential. And as a result, they're struggling financially. And this financial struggle is a surface thing, it's an end result. But the root cause of it is not maximizing their potential. And that's what I do through my services as an inspirational book coach. I make it easy for women to generate a monthly revenue from their book and knowing exactly what to include in that book so it'll save them money and stop them from making costly mistakes. Because there's some things that could really, take a bite out of your finances. Now, the theme for this month has been productivity. How to be productive as you write your book. And what I want to talk about today is, am I truly an expert on this subject? Am I truly an expert on this subject? Good morning, Sean. How you doing today? Are you truly an expert? A lot of times people downplay themselves. And I want to let you don't have to apologize or explain to anyone when they come to challenge your uniqueness. No, you don't have to do that. Always appreciate who you are. Now, your message may be similar to somebody else's, but you have a unique quality about the manner in which you deliver your message. Never apologize for who you are. Always be unapologetically you. Be unapologetically you, y'all. So, being an expert on the subject matter, I'm going to tell you, that's a must because it can ruin your career even before you ever get started. Before you ever get started, it could ruin your career. Because how are you going to give somebody advice and you hoping that something will work? How are you going to give them advice and you hoping that, something will work? You can't take anybody where you haven't been. But if you've been there, you could show them what to do and where to go. Does that make sense? Does that make sense, y'all? You can't assume that something will work. You have to already know that it's going to work because you've been there and you've done that. You went through and now you're on the other side. You went through the tests, you went through the trials, and now you have a solution to help somebody either avoid a pitfall or to get out of a hole. That's why it's important. Teach somebody what you know. Teach something that you know, okay? Teach something that you have mastered. When you're tired of the same old, and you realize that it's possible for you to succeed, then you'll come to terms with who you are and what you truly have. That's your treasures. That's those gems that you hear me talk about that consist of your knowledge, your education, your passion. You know, you can't fake your way through writing a book, y'all. People know. They know that you don't know what you're talking about if you try to fake your way through it. And it's serious that you already have to be an expert in the area that you're going to be writing about. You have to be an expert there. People can sense authenticity. And when you are not, hear me again, when you are not truly authentic and writing from a place of true knowledge, or you're guessing at it, or maybe you're trying to repeat something that you heard that somebody else said, or you read about it, and now you're trying to make it your own, that doesn't produce authenticity. Does that even make sense? We must know, okay? And it must be our own knowledge already. Everyone has their own core of knowledge, their own core that nobody could touch. You know, that's why it doesn't make sense to, use somebody else's writing. Why does it make sense to use something that somebody else produced? That never made sense to me. People plagiarizing other people's works when there's a lot that's on the inside of them. They're missing it, y'all. They're missing it. And the same is true with this. Your experiences are unique to you alone. And because nobody can feel it the way you felt it. Nobody can experience it the way you experienced it. Nobody can see it the way you see it because you have your own perception. Individuality and uniqueness, they're nothing to be ashamed of. Nothing to be ashamed of and downplayed, but should be edified and applauded. Should be edified and applauded. It's nothing to be ashamed of. You know, a lot of times people make people feel ashamed of who they are when they begin to express themselves. But like I said, be unapologetically you. Be authentic. Be your authentic self. Okay? You should already know what your subject is when you're writing. And if not, then it's time to do an inventory of what knowledge you possess that can be taught to others. There's a lot inside of you, y'all. There's a lot there. Excuse me. You have to stop trying to play in the lane that's not meant for you to play in. Stay in the lane that shows your brilliance. Now, I asked you the other day on a previous broadcast, are you serious about writing? Or are you using writing as a trend? I want you to think about that. Let's see what the comment says. When I was in school, we had to write papers and find information and cite it. So it was hard to learn my voice again. But now, Janelle, you have a voice. You have a voice. And there's a lot that you could teach people from the career that you're in because you have a unique approach to how you teach your clients. And I would love to see the book that you write because it'll be very informational. You know, I know citing works by who, and for those of you who may not know what cite means, it means, giving somebody else the credit for what they have wrote. So you would, write their name there and you would reference that. But there's things that Janelle, that are unique to you. And it comes out of your knowledge bank. So I'm just waiting for the time where we could get together so you could write your book, because I know it's going to be powerful. I know it's going to be fire. So let me just encourage you right there. You're going to make it. You are going to make it, because what you do to help women is an asset. It's an asset. So, and I know that you'll be serious about, writing your book. So when you're not writing, let me tell you this. When a person is not writing from a place of authenticity, people will sense a spirit of desperation. If you do not stay in your lane of brilliance, and what people will see, they're seeing you as trying to make $1. And that's the reason why you write in your book. Because your message is not connecting. And you may be just saying anything by Google searching. I'm telling you, y'all, I've been out there on those internet streets. Okay? That's why I could tell you some things so you could avoid it. They'll go and they'll search to see what to say that pertains to a particular situation. Now, I told you this back before. There's junk out there. And I mentioned to you before that there's this guy on the internet. He's out there in these streets, y'all. And he's teaching people how to write an ebook using information on the internet. And they've taken this information and putting that into an ebook and loading it up to the Amazon platform and making all this money from these ebooks. And he was showing his stats, of the money he and his minor child are receiving. That's what he's doing. I want you to think about that. What is wrong with that scenario? What is wrong with that? When he has his own core knowledge and everybody else on this planet has their own core knowledge, why would you teach somebody to downplay who they are? Why would you teach that? When you play outside of your brilliance, people are going to see it as you trying to make $1. And that is the reason that you're writing your book with no expertise or feelings. Okay? Have you ever read a book that had something about it? It had no feelings to it. The message just didn't connect. And what happens then is when a person does that, it translates over to people that they're not going to trust you. They're not going to trust you with your information. They're not going to trust nothing that you're saying. Because all you're trying to do is get them to purchase your book. Just say yes to purchasing your book. I tell you, y'all, I cruise these internet streets to see what's out there so I could teach new authors and authors, okay? Because there's some people who get caught in these traps because they're looking for an easy way out. And what happens is they'll ruin their book writing reputation and be classified as a fraud, okay? And I'm going to tell you, there's absolutely no need for anyone to cut corners because you're more than that. You're more than that. Or why would you even be listening to me? Why would you even want to consider that? Cutting corners just to make $1. Y'all, it's much more than the money. Okay? I want you to hear me. It's much more than the money when you're writing a book. People's lives are connected to that. I want you to understand that you are sitting on gold mines full of knowledge that people are doing Google searches every second of every day to learn something that you already know. Your brilliance speaks volumes. Speaks volumes, y'all. You place a fish. I want you to watch this. You place a fish on the ground, and that fish is flipping and he's flopping all over the place. But when that fish meets up with the water, its genius comes forth. I want you to think about that. So many of you, your life may have been flipping and flopping all over the place because you can't connect with your value. You can't connect with your purpose. You can't connect with your worth. Okay? You can't connect. But now, if you listen closely, to be your authentic self, to not downplay yourself, to not cut yourself short, you'll meet up with your brilliance. So you could expect your brilliance to come forth. And I expect that from each and every one of you, that your brilliance will come forth through what you already know, your expertise, your passion, your knowledge. If you just sit back and get into that quiet place and find out what you have in your hand that could help somebody else to change the trajectory of their lives. And when you serve people and serve people well, you don't ever have to worry about money. Money is the least that you have to worry about. Concentrate on what you have to change somebody's life from what you already have. We are individuals who are problem solvers, and everything that we ever need is already inside of us. Think about that. Let the eyes of your understanding be enlightened, because there's more to you than what you realize. So I want you to come on through and schedule that free 15-minute discovery call with me by going to bit.ly/generate revenue 2021. Again, that's bit.ly/generate revenue 2021. I want you to envision yourself much more than what you're thinking, okay? You're much more than what you think about yourself, because you're just looking at yourself on the surface. But I want you to dig down deep. I told you on these broadcasts for the rest of the year, I'm taking you into a deeper dive. So come on with me, because you are capable of creating your own reality. So this is a time to allow yourself to shine. Forget about what you heard about, all that pride, you're going to be prideful and all that foolishness. This is your time to shine. Allow your brilliance to shine forth, to be that light to somebody through your message, through your authentic message, that you're going to touch lives in whatever industry that you're in. So a person will be able to understand better whatever they may be going through. So I hope that what I have shared with you has brought value to you, to help you realize to be unapologetically you. Never be ashamed of who you are. Never hold back and withhold things just because somebody else doesn't like it. It doesn't matter about somebody else, but it matters what you have to help your ideal audience. So I want to thank you for taking time out of your busy schedule to join me today on Turning Your Passion into Profit Morning Show. And I look forward to seeing you again the next time. Don't forget to share this information out with your friends. Hit that share button, hit that like button, hit that heart button, and share it to your friends because you never know what somebody else needs. So, with that being said, remember, this is your time, this is your season, this is your turning point. So, have a great rest of your day.